Meia, and today we're going to talk about 5 signs you've outgrown a friendship. But before we get into that, y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come on over here and kick it with your girl. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here, like always, thank y'all for rocking with your girl. So y'all, we just gonna jump right into it because, like me, I know y'all have found yourself outgrowing friendships, and sometimes it could be a little hard, especially if these are your day ones or people that you looked at like family and that you've been close to for a long time. And unfortunately, in life, sometimes you outgrow people, and it's okay. I know a lot of times when people say that they outgrown somebody, people think that something negative come along with that. And all the time, it don't have to be anything negative. It could be just that simple that we've outgrown each other. So we're gonna just jump right into the 5 things. But before we get into it, if y'all do see me looking down, I'm looking at my laptop because I typed out me some notes. Okay, so number 1, you feel drained after every conversation. I know y'all know people who call you, and when they call you, it's always some bullshit. I'ma just say it's always some bullshit. Like, it's never anything positive. They always got some drama going on, to the point it's like, do you ever get tired of this? Like, you literally feel exhausted talking to them because it's never anything like upbeat or positive. It's always drama. And y'all know I'm a big advocate for protecting your peace, and I just feel like people who always call and it's always on some like drama-fied stuff, they get old. And then especially at my big age, I'm in my 30s, we are grown now, like grown. I don't have time for the stuff that, back when I was like a teenager, early 20s, I may have entertained that. But at this big age, it's like, I know this is not the only thing that was on your agenda today. And don't get me wrong, y'all, I am not talking about a person who is really going through something, like really going through life, and life is really life for them. I'm not talking about that, because if we're friends, we definitely should be able to vent to each other. But if it's always something, and y'all know what I mean when I say something, like it's always some more shit, and don't even have nothing to do with them, like their life is life or anything. It just be extra stuff that really can be avoided if they actually wanted to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, baby, if every time I talk to you, I feel exhausted, I feel drained, that's a sign of you're outgrowing that person, because you're not on that no more. You're focused on other things, and they are still focused on BS. Number 2, you're the only one putting in effort. And like, this is a big one. This is like one of the big ones. If you're the only one, then baby, that's self-explanatory. It shouldn't even be a friendship at this point. Like, it shouldn't even take long for you to see that. But I see it all the time, how people be checking up on people, speaking very highly of people, calling them, inviting them to places, remembering their birthdays, making long birthday posts for these people, like trying to fix these people's problems, always there for them. But when it comes to that favor being returned, it's crickets. And I always feel like relationships should be like 100-100, sometimes 50-50. Sometimes it may not be 100-100. It might be an 80-20. But at some point, you gotta know you being played. Like, you playing in my face. Because if I'm always the one reaching out, I'm always the one trying to get us together, I'm always the one doing, then that tells me that you don't really fuck with me like that. Let me just be clear. You don't mess with me like that. And what are we doing? What am I doing? Like, for me, I can't do one-sided anything. That goes for friendships, relationships, associates, nothing. I can't do one-sided anything because I get to thinking too much. And like, one thing I don't like is to feel like to be played with and to feel like I'm being played or being used or something. So as soon as I see it's one-sided, oh baby, you got to go. You got to get the hell out of my face ASAP. So know that friendships should always be mutual. And like I said, sometimes life, and it may not be a situation where y'all are both giving 100%. That's okay. But if it's always you and never them, then clearly they don't fool with you how you fool with them. And that may hurt, but it's okay to move on. Like, you should be moving on. Y'all don't know how many times I done seen people speak so highly of people and then go around the person that they speak highly of just dog them out. This is why when I be seeing people together and I be like, it's crazy how people will be with people literally every day and this person do not like them at all. So be wary. If you're the one who is always doing the doing, pay attention and move around. Number 3, you've grown but the friendship haven't. And maybe your priorities have changed. I know a lot of the times this was like, for me, I had my baby young. My first child, I had her like younger. So I did notice that, like, once I had my baby and stuff, my priorities have changed. Now I'm mommy mode. I got to do this, I got to do that. At the time, I was I was in college, I was going to school, I was working. I'm a full-time mother. So everybody outside doing their thing, and some stuff I couldn't do. Now, thankfully, I have amazing parents who will still like, you're younger, but you doing what you need to do. If you want to go out, you want to do this, you want to do that. We don't mind watching the baby and stuff. So I was still able to live, put it like that. But at the same time, while they was out just doing them and not caring, I'm worried about going to school. I need to pass this class. I need to graduate. I need to, I was worried about stuff. And that's just an example. But it could be anything. So it could be like right now at this big age, it could be something like you could be like healing. You could have went through some stuff and you could be on a healing journey. You could be focused on your career, your finances, just becoming a better person overall. And people that you are cool with, that you've been friends with, they may still be where they were. They not focused on healing. They still want to do what they do, and you're not on that no more. And that's okay. And it doesn't, like I keep saying, it doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thing. It just means that we may not connect on the same level that we used to. And that's okay. Like, it's not a bad thing to outgrow people. I think the problem is a lot of people put a lot of negativity behind outgrowing people. And some people, I've even heard people say, oh, well, they think they better than this person and stuff. And it's not that. It's just that we don't have anything in common at this point in life. And that's okay. Like, it is what it is. Some people are meant to be in your life for different seasons. And, like I said, sometimes it hurt, but it's part of the game. Number 4, you don't feel safe being yourself. Now, I'm the type of person where I'm a very multifaceted woman. I know I get on here and some people may have preconceived notions on me, or they may think one thing and then they get to know me and they be like, hold on, I ain't think you, like, I meet a lot of people because I carry myself a certain way. So I meet a lot of people when they meet me and they, they get to know me more. They learn where I come from, my baby. They just learn stuff about me. They really get to meet, see my personality and see me for me. They be like, I never would have thought you was this cool. I never would have thought you, just the type of person you were. But I just feel like if you have to censor yourself to the point where you can't be yourself, I think the biggest issue with this is today in social media stage, I see so many women linking up based off of aesthetic. Oh, you cute, I'm cute, let's be friends. Oh, you do content, I do content, let's be friends. I feel like I'm a person that I love to build relationships authentically. I like for relations to build the normal way. Not just saying you can't be friends with somebody that you meet off social media. I'm absolutely not saying that. And I'm definitely not saying that you shouldn't network and stuff. But a lot of times I feel like people get in friendships and if they present themselves one way, and then after a while they're trying to be comfortable, but the person that they're trying to put on this facade for think that they changed, and the whole time they just never were being themselves. If that makes sense, I hope that made sense. So it's like, if you feel like you're gonna be afraid to being judged, criticized, misunderstood or something when you're with your friends, then is there really a friendship? Like, it's a lot of stuff that sometimes my friends do. I might not necessarily agree with them on everything, but they could tell me. And if they, if we're talking and we're that close, I'm going to tell you if you're wrong, if you're right, how I feel. But I'm not going to judge you. You feel me? So if you have to dim your light, basically, to have friends or to be in a certain group or to be liked, then baby, that ain't the friendship for you. Just keeping it a book. Number 5, y'all, we made it to number 5. The friendship feels like obligation instead of joy. And this one is powerful because it's like you don't get excited to see this person anymore. I don't know about y'all, but child, I'm a working, I work, I'm a mother, I have a family. So when I talk to my friends, when we have girls' night, I'm excited. I'm ready to get out. Like, baby, I'm just to get out and I'm just to go, I'm gonna go do me. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't feel that, and I'm not saying every interaction has to be like, this big moment and you always have to be excited, because we know how life goes. That's not realistic. But if I see you and I'm like, I'm only going because this my friend and we've been friends for years, and I feel obligated to, I feel like I have to go because we day ones, we've been friends for years, but I really don't want to go. If it's a situation like that, and I'm not talking about like going to the place, or it's like, I'm saying like actually being around this friend. Like if it gets to a point where you can't stand to be around a person, but you stand in the friendship because you feel obligated to, because you feel like y'all are day ones, or because this person has had your back, it's never gonna work, and it's always gonna be something. So I just feel like if you feel like you're obligated to, that's a sign that you may be outgrowing this person. And I'm gonna reiterate that it's okay to outgrow people, because a lot of people try to make it seem like something bad. And I understand why people try to make it seem like something bad. And the thing about outgrowing people is, sometimes it just happens naturally. Now, do I feel like some people are owed an explanation? If this is somebody that you truly love and that you've been like friends with forever, and they haven't really done anything to like cross you or make you feel a certain type of way, y'all are literally just outgrowing each other, I feel like a conversation could be had. Now, how they take that conversation, who knows? But at least you did your part. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes we don't plan to outgrow people. It just kind of happens, especially when you throw kids in the mix, you throw your careers in the mix, you throw, if you married or you're in a relationship, or however that is going, you throw that in the mix. And with getting older, dealing with grief and different stuff that's going on in life, and just the everyday hustle and bustle of life, if I just feel like sometimes it just happens and it's okay. So y'all don't feel bad for outgrowing people. That's just the moral of the story. Everybody can't go. And it's crazy as that may sound, that's the honest truth. Everybody can't go. It's not meant for everybody to be at the table with you. And sometimes that's just the harsh reality that we are dealt. No matter how much we love a person, how much we want them to be there, and how much we want that. sometimes it's just not, they just not a part of that part of your life. And I know it could suck at times, but that's just what it is. Because let's be clear, friendship breakups could be worse than relationship breakups, especially if that's somebody like you considered a sister and y'all was close. Baby, trust me, I'll do a video about that on a later date. But I just want to say this before I end. And like I was saying, just outgrowing friendships doesn't mean it doesn't mean that they did something to you. It just means that you simply grew apart. And it's okay to, don't knock yourself for that. You have to get to where you need to go, and you have to do what's on that path for you. And on that path, if these people aren't supposed to go on that journey, then stuff will happen so y'all can start growing apart. The worst thing that you could do, I do feel like though, is steady trying to make a situation work that's not supposed to. So if you outgrow somebody, don't beat yourself up about it. And sometimes it could just not be in this season. And like I said, y'all don't have to get into it. It don't have to be no drama behind it. It could just be something simple as, you know what, we're not in this season together at this moment. But I wish him nothing but the best. It's all love. When we see each other, we can have a conversation. We just don't hang like we used to. And that's okay. So, have y'all ever outgrown somebody? And for me, let me know what was your biggest sign that you was outgrowing this person. Like, let's talk about it in the comments, y'all. Blow my comments down. So yeah, this was just a video that I thought I would do, because I feel like friendships is one of those biggest things, especially when you start getting up in age and life happens. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.